Bam, YouTubers, welcome to my channel. So anyways, with this quarantine going on, I have a lot of time on my hands to get on YouTube so I can teach you guys something. So hopefully you guys learn from it. But so today, cut to the chase, what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be taking your editing skills from bam right here to like right there. Right. But anyway, so what we're gonna do photo retouching, basic retouching, not advanced, just basic. So we're gonna start with, like, taking blemishes, pimples, all that junk off the face, and then we're gonna do separation. What that is, we're gonna bring the details right back into the skin, so stay tuned. And then we're gonna finish up with just color correcting and just color grading, and then bam, we done. So yeah, let's see how that goes in my first video. Probably already messed it up already. Oh well. This is my first official tutorial. I'm starting off, I just started, so please bear with me. I'm still learning, I'm trying to get better, so hopefully you guys can comment and tell me how my teaching skills is. Anyways, a lot of people on Instagram, a lot of my fans on Instagram kept DMing me, how do you do this, how do you do that? I'm like, I cannot just text all that, I can't DM you all that. Alright fellas, so let's start. So first thing we're going to do is duplicate the layer, just for backup, because you don't want to mess up the original layer and then you can't go back. So that's how I start all my edits. I'm just going to duplicate the first layer. So I'm just going to drag this, make a new layer. There's a couple ways to do that. You can go to layer, duplicate layer, name it whatever you want to name it, or on the keyboard, Control J to duplicate the layer. Okay, so now once we have that done, first step is to obviously go for the pimples. That's the most obvious one. So I'm gonna click on the spot healing brush tool, which is shortcut key J, and just start taking out the pimples. I'm probably gonna speed through this so we get that done. And you can take your time on this, I'm just speeding up for tutorial's sake. Just take your sweet time, make sure everything is perfect. So now for the hair, I'm not really gonna touch on the hair, but this is kind of bugging me. So there's a couple ways to do this. First, I can click on the patch tool. I'm gonna select this whole little patch right here, drag it down to sample this part. It's not always perfect, it's not too bad. Another way I can do it is I'm actually going to click on the lasso tool, select this part right here, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and I'm gonna move that part over here. You can't really tell, that kind of works. And I'm gonna merge that down on Windows, Control E. So now let's look at before and after. So look at the hair. Let's look at the skin. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me zoom in just a bit. Before, after. Bam! Okay guys, so this part right here, what you guys need to do is just grab a piece of paper and a pencil, write this down. Number's not going to change. It's not hard, it's just a couple of steps. I had to learn this myself 2-3 years ago, and what I did is I created a Photoshop action so I don't have to do it again and deal with it. It's kind of annoying, but you learn it one time and that's it. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it, and if you guys want to actually have a whole tutorial about actions, just drop a comment in the DM, or just go on Instagram, DM me, be like, hey, you know what, I want to learn about actions, and I'll do a whole tutorial about that and teach you guys how to do it. So yeah, just bear with me here. It's not hard, like I said, it's for beginners. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, now so what we need to do is duplicate this a couple of times. I'm just gonna drag this layer twice, rename the top layer detail, rename the second layer blur, hide the top layer, click on the blur layer, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And you don't want to blur it too much. You still want to see a little bit of detail, kind of make out the image. So I'm looking like maybe 7 or 8 works best for me. Push OK. Click on the detail layer, turn it back on, little icon right here. Go to image, apply image, And this is where I was talking about, it gets a little tricky. So you want to change the layer to the blur layer. That's what you want the main target to be. And the blending, you want to put it to subtract. So you kind of want to have this gray background and still see the details. It has to look like this. If it doesn't look like this, you did something wrong. And also you want to change your scale every 1 whenever you turn yours on, but you need to change it to 2 and then offset 128, and then change the blending mode to linear light. So now the image look exactly the same. So let me group these two right here. If I turn this off, it should look exactly the same. Nothing has changed. So what you just did is literally separated the details and the color to make the image. So now with that said, click on the blur, click on the lasso tool, feather it out 10% so you have a little soft edge, not a hard edge. Select a big chunk of the skin, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, crank it up just a bit. Keep selecting parts with different skin tones, filter, Gaussian blur, filter, Gaussian blur. Now I'm doing this very fast. You should take your time with it. Gaussian blur. Filter, Gaussian blur. Now let's look at the before and after. This what you have, and this the after. Already looking good, guys. Okay. So now the next step is you need to click on the blur. We want to create a layer in between the detail and the blur. So what we're gonna do with that is fix all these little white spots right here. We want to put some color into it. So I'm gonna click on this layer tool, double click it, name it color, whatever you want to name it. Okay, click on the brush tool, use Alt to sample. So I'm sampling this brown color right here so I can paint it in this section right here. And you want to bring the opacity down to about 10. Bigger brush size, soft, and slowly paint that in a bit. So I don't know if you guys can see the difference there. And just keep painting in to keep sampling, keep painting in. You want to get the skin tone to look as close as possible. Okay guys, it's already looking good. Now let's see what we have here. This is the before and after. Already looking good. So what's next now is I'm going to convert this to a smart object. Click filter, camera raw. This is where you're gonna kind of finish up the look. I want it to look a little warm, so I'm gonna bring the temperature up just a bit. Bring up the contrast just a little bit. Make the blacks a little darker. Go to split toning. This is how I kind of touch up my deal. So put a little bit of blue in the highlights, a little bit of red in the shadows. Go to the curves, bump up that highlight just a bit, bring the blacks back in just a bit, and here we go. This is before and after. Let me zoom in just a bit for you guys. Before, after. Well, there you go, guys. Bam. Okay, so that's it. It's a wrap. Finito. I'm done. First YouTube tutorial. Bang. It took me like 2-3 days to finally do this. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. Any tips for me to improve how I teach or how I thought? If you guys didn't like it, let me know. Drop a comment in the DM. I'm gonna improve. I'm gonna listen to you guys because obviously this is my first one, so I need to, I need to pay my dues. So I'm ready to work hard for you guys, so you guys can learn from me. And again, check out my Instagram to see my work on Instagram. You can DM me on there. I'm usually on Instagram most of the time. But anyways, that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So I'll catch you next time in the next tutorial. Peace.